Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Hey, everybody, it's Cindy here. Thank you so much for joining me today for the Life Makeovers podcast. It's so great to have you here. And today I have with me one of my favorite ladies in the world. Her name is Melissa Snoots, and she is a client of mine, actually, a former client of mine. And we've stayed in touch, and she has agreed to come on the podcast and talk about midlife with us. And I can't wait for you to meet her. So, Melissa, say hello and tell us a little more about yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa. I am in midlife, obviously. I've been a nurse for 30 some years and had some situations in life happen, which got me into evolving into myself. And one of those things that helped was obviously Cindy. So Cindy came into my life in 2020, and right after some things that had happened, and I needed her. I needed her. So she came along and really just pushed me to be who I am today. I am a Reiki master. I do sound therapy. On top of the nursing, I do meditative groups. I'm learning herbalism right now, and also just started a yoga class to start teaching. And then, so just have my hands full in a lot of different things, and just really enjoying life, blooming.
Oh, well, it sounds like you've bloomed yourself, and now you're going to heal everybody else in every possible way. Western medicine, Eastern philosophy, all kinds of techniques.
It takes a village.
It takes a village. Exactly. We all need support, whatever we're experiencing in life. So, wow. So what attracts you to nursing, first of all? Yeah.
As a child, I was always taking care of older people, like the neighborhood, my grandmother. I was always with her. And it was secondhand. It was second nature. And I really didn't even know what I wanted to do or wanted to be. In my senior year, my dad's finally like, "Are you going to decide what you're going to do? Let's go start looking at colleges." So I ended up in a nursing program. And like I said, that's history. And I've worked everywhere. I worked hospital, I've worked at nursing home, I worked clinics, I've worked specialty offices, I've been leads, I've been managers, I've just been the bee in the bee. So a wide variety of experience that way. So yeah, that's where I am. And it's something that's passionate. I just like to see people feel good. I want to help them. I want to see that light bulb come on. And yeah.
Love that. It sounds like in your midlife, part of it has been a career shift a bit, even though you're still in the nursing profession for sure, but you've also added this whole other set of gifts and talents and services that are also healing focused. So how did that shift happen in your midlife with this career focus?
It's a funny story. I was working at a particular office, and I was working in HR, or not HR, it was more of an employee services. And we had this event go on with different modalities to have healing, right? And one of them was Reiki. And I'm setting up and then tearing down, and I'm busy. I'm not even realizing what's happening. And one of the practitioners came up and said, "Would you like to have a Reiki session?" And I'm like, okay. I was a little frazzled. So I laid on the table, and it was very relaxing. It was only about 10 minutes, but I would tell you, when I got up, I was like, okay, that was nothing. I got to get on with my day. But I noticed shifts within myself. And within the next week, like, I just started thinking differently and having aha moments and seeing synchronicities. And looking back, it was like, oh, okay, it's nothing. And And what I found myself is looking into it. Like it started popping up more on my feeds or people talking about it. And I ended up looking online and found a local Reiki facility that actually offered classes. And I remember standing in their lobby. I just walked there one day and I'm in their lobby just looking around going, why am I here? What is this about? And it was kind of one of those aha moments. And I left because nobody was there. Everybody was in sessions, and I actually went back about a month later and again found myself going, this something feels right. Like,
Yeah.
and I really believe that was the first time I started listening to my intuition. But I said, a practitioner came out and said, can I help you? And we just got talking, and she actually did a few sessions on me. And then she's the one that got me interested and got me in the classes. I took her classes, and yeah, just fell in love with it. And it's something I practice every day on myself, on the world. You can do virtual. I send blessings and kindness to everybody and everything I can. So yeah, it's just something that felt good to me. It felt right. And I have seen people improve their pain, their sleep, their
Wow.
health, all their spirituality. They have come in contact with, people that weren't in their lives and now are, or they've been able to just heal on an emotional level. And it's so powerful.
That
So
is
powerful.
so exciting. And I love the healing power of Reiki. I've had Reiki sessions myself over the years. And if you all don't know what it is, just look it up because it's an energy, it's energy work, really. Isn't that the
Right.
simplest way to describe it? Yeah.
Mhm.
And another point I feel like you just made, whether you meant to or not, was you taught us the importance of listening to that inside voice that
Mhm.
leads us down a path that we don't even always know why, but it's nudging us saying, hey, just go stop by that office there, just stand there and come back again when you can talk to somebody. Like, I feel like that's our intuition or something, the thing bigger than all of us, like leading us forward. And also, I say to people, when you feel curious about something, you feel
Yep.
passionate about something, and you can't even explain to yourself why, just lean
Mhm.
into it. In other words, just kind of go, huh, I'm curious. One of my
Yep.
best friends, Debbie, wears a bracelet now that's since her divorce that says curious because it
Mm.
just reminds her to be curious, like she doesn't know what her future holds in every way or whatever, but she's just staying open and curious about what comes, what excites her, what new shows up. And I think that's what you did, and look how it led you down this whole road that's been a real blessing to you and to others. Wow.
Yeah. And I've relied on that a lot. That's what's taken me even into the sound therapy and to the herbalism. Like something just sparked my interest, and I'm one of these people that if this sparks my interest, like you're saying, there's a reason why, right? So
Yeah.
you start looking into that, investigating, research, talking to people, asking questions, and you'll find that the people that do these kind of things, if you ask them a question, they're so excited to tell you.
They
Like that,
want to
that
help. Mhm.
exactly, they want to help. So I'm just one of these that just starts looking, and then there's some things I've looked at and thought, okay, well, nah, I don't know. That might not be something for me. Although it's interesting and I'm glad I looked into it, but that might not be the road I want to go. So then, you try something else and you go another direction. So
Yeah, and that is such a great point too, that if we bump up against something and we go, this isn't what I want,
yeah.
that
Hmm.
is wonderful because it's also getting us a step closer to knowing what is it that I do want. And what
Yeah.
I find with women in midlife a lot is they feel really stuck. They've been doing the same this or the same that, or lived the same place or in the same relationship or the same whatever for so long that they don't even realize there's a thousand other ways to live, or there's other opportunities that they may not even have ever tapped into. And if they can just open their minds or open their hearts to something different, it can actually give them such joy, just such meaning. So
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
like that's what you've done.
Yeah, and I continue to do so. Like again, if there's something that sparks it, I just continue to learn more, because that's what I feel in life that we're supposed to do. And you never know what's going to stick.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But that's part of the exploration and that's part of the uncovering and discovery of who am I now? Who
Yep.
am I now? What do I want my life to look like now? What do I want the next phase of my life to look like? And it sounds like you've been really good at investing in yourself in that way.
Absolutely. And that was one thing that you had told me. You had said when we gone through our sessions, you need to invest in yourself. That's so important. And it doesn't have to be costly. It could be just going to the library and reading books about a topic, or searching it on Google, or just again, like talking to people. It's just involving yourself into something that's other than what you have been programmed to think you are. Your mother, you're the daughter, you're the wife, you're the or the the spouse of the whatever. You've been labeled, and you take on those labels and you're like, wait a minute, I'm more than that. I'm more than all these things, and I'm me. And let's look into those things. What are those things that's fun? We forget that inner child. We do. I was dancing around the other day in the kitchen. I was making dinner. I just found myself it was an old 80s rock. I don't even know what it was, but I thought, oh, I haven't heard this song in a long time. And I'm just, dancing around. And I thought, well, this was fun. Why don't I do more of that? So that's what I've been trying to do over the last several years is just to, if it feels good, do it, enjoy it, look into it, have fun with it, experience it, talk about it. You will find so many people, women our age, that have either similar or same interests. I had a Zoom call today at work, and it was somebody I'd never met, and her and I were on it first before anyone else came on. And I said something about a bird. I said, I love my window. I got to see a hawk the other day. He came to the window or right outside the tree like twice during the day. And she's like, oh, I love hawks. We got on this tangent about birds, and it was such a neat thing but this is just a good example that when you talk to people about some of the things that you're passionate. Now, I find sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know what Reiki is, so then I back off, and I know my audience, obviously. So you'll find more people interested than not, because they want to know. The people hunger for that kind of thing, and it's a great connection. What a great connection her and I had, just talking about birds of all things.
Yeah,
So
and it's
it's
a
nice.
real connecting point. It's
It is.
organic connection, which, there's a loneliness epidemic in this country. And I can't tell you how many women in midlife have told me, I'm lonely. I don't have any friends. I don't know
Mhm.
how to make friends. I don't
Right.
know what to do to get myself out there. And what I hear you saying is just simple, just very simple conversation like the bird outside your window today can be the starting point of connecting and really feeling fed by those
Mhm.
conversations, those connections. So
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't have to
Know
be.
what? I was not always like that. I was always timid on, with history. It was, I was afraid to speak my truth because it would be put down or it'd be judged. I want to tell you that you, more often than not, if people are going to remember you, it's going to remember you for the positive. Okay. I've learned this,
Hmm,
because the negative are like, okay, well, she's kooky, whatever, and then they move on with their life. Like it's not something. But if you empower them with something positive, whatever you guys talk about, you will find that they start talking about it to other people, and then they start, so it trickles down into more connection with more people, and so forth with them too. So it's planting that seed sometimes. And I will, and even if the people that didn't like the conversation, they're not my people.
yeah, they're not your people. Yeah, we aren't
Yeah.
all each other's people, right? And that's okay
And that's
because
okay.
what 8 billion on the planet now, so we can probably find our set, right? Or those that we feel the most alignment with or whatever. And Yeah, I love what you said about the trickling down. I talk about the ripple effect in my book, the midlife makeover method. I talk about, when we really get aligned with ourselves and we can show up from that place of wholeness ourselves, then yes, the ripple effect is huge. The trickle
Yep.
down, as you put it, is huge. Like because people will remember how they felt in your presence.
Hmm.
That's what they're remembering, right? Is how they felt in your presence because
Yeah.
everybody wants to feel acknowledged. Everyone wants to feel like they belong. Everyone wants to feel like they're significant. And so when you can really attend to someone and have real eye contact or a real conversation or see them, really see them, it's huge. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. And then you learn something. Like I learn something about people all the time. Just having conversations with them. It could start out with something I'm talking about, and then they'll start talking, and they sit back and you listen, like you're saying, and you'll find out things. You're like, oh, I never thought of that before. That's fascinating. Or, oh, I'm going to look that up because that's really neat. I like that idea. And then that carries on even too. So you have even more knowledge to do that. You know, I think early on to you speaking my voice with it being so hard, and I think women need to remember in general, especially our age, that we always have a choice. Okay. So, and what I mean by that is we have the choice to learn more. We have a choice to invest in ourselves. We have, and again, it doesn't have to be expensive, but it is a choice. And we forget we have those choices in midlife because now all of a sudden everybody's husband's at work, and the children are gone, and you're older, your folks are stable, but still you have this time, and you're like, okay, now what do I do with myself? How do I, and you don't want to get into your adult children's lives too much because they're adults and it's time for them to you did your work.
Right.
um but we forget that we have that choice to say, okay, now it,
Yeah.
it's it's a good time for me. It's a good time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shifting that big focus of always thinking of others first and going, oh, you know what? It really is a time I can think about myself more now. Because
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
those that have had children, they're grown and they're off doing their own thing. And really we need to just let go of worrying about their daily lives. That's up to them now. And we're at an age, I say to people, when if you don't take care of yourself now, if you don't step into being who you really are, doing what you really want to in life, or finding that out now, when are you going to do it?
Yeah.
When? If you don't do it in your 50s or your 60s, I mean, come on, the clock is ticking, you
And
know.
and I've had people say, "Well, I'm 60. Why do I want to start something new now?" Well,
Oh my
to me,
gosh,
great
and you're going to live
opportunity.
to be 95, so you've
Yeah,
got a long time.
look at what you have coming up in your life that you can
Gosh,
do,
yeah,
really focus on these things that you really like. I
yeah,
mean, what an awesome opportunity. I love this age. I thought it would be one of those, yeah, those dire things. I'm getting older. I'm accepting the way my body's doing this and my face is doing that.
no,
But
no,
no, you know what? I am so excited about the future. I look every day for something new, even something little. it's it
yes,
I wish I just, and preach it and preach it, preach it. And I really got this from you, preaching this with women our age, that this is your time. This is your time. And you are never, absolutely never too old to learn and do what you want to do. I'm
absolutely.
excited about it.
Oh, I'm so glad that message came through and you're living out that message. And you're such a great example to others. Can you all understand out there listening why I wanted this woman to come on? Because
Yeah.
it's so true. So many of you say, oh, it's too late for me because I'm now in my 40s, or I can't learn anything new because I'm in my 50s, or I'm just getting old now because I'm in my 60s, or
Right.
whatever. Keep telling yourself that stuff, and that's exactly where you're going to end up. But what
Yep.
the truth is, which I only tell you the truth, people, is it's not too late, no matter what age you are, no matter where you've been, no matter what you've done or haven't done, or what size you are, or whether your hair's gray or not, or whether you have wrinkles on your face or not. It did none of that. Whether you've been divorced 4 times, whether you've been, I mean, whatever, quit 3 jobs, what,
It doesn't matter.
none of that has to make a difference. Like,
Mm,
whatever you don't like about your past, grab onto the lessons that you've learned from the past or that you could learn from the past, let them go and move forward and
yeah.
ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? And then listen, like Melissa says, to your inner voice, your inner knowing about what's interesting, what you can be curious about, what might be, you know, of of really calling you, and move toward that and just see what unfolds. Just see what
Yeah.
unfolds. The possibilities are absolutely endless. They're endless. Just endless. Endless.
Endless.
Yeah.
And why would you want to spend the last, 20, 30 years of your life doing something you like or something you enjoy? I mean, isn't that's what kind of what
Or
it
even if you die, if you're 60 and you die at 62, how about you have a great couple of years? Right? I mean, really, and I don't mean that negative. I mean that like,
yeah.
let's just rock and roll right now, whether we have 5 years left, 30 years left,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, I'm hoping for a 100th birthday. So I'm only 56, so I got a long way to go. But I want to enjoy it. I want to make the best of it. What other things that we experience together in the coaching do you think would be really great messages for the women that are listening today?
What was the first part of that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry if I was quiet. I was trying to ask, like, what other things from the coaching did you get or have you learned since that you think would be really valuable for our listeners today to hear, if anything you can think of?
We've touched on several of the things that I really pulled out of, but I think it's again, I go back to the investment of yourself,
Mhm.
learning who you are, listening to yourself,
Mhm.
and just doing things that make you happy and that you're interested in. I was so caught up on the negative um, things that either I was being told or how I was being represented, or
Mhm.
it was so heavy. And what I realized with the coaching is I don't have to take that heaviness because it's not who I am today. On this day, moving forward, I can create whatever and whoever I want to be moving, and whoever I think. And I have the great choice to change midstream if I
Yeah.
feel I'm not going the direction I want. So I really learned what my core values were and what I am and how to present that in my daily life. Like I'm kind. That's truly me. Like I'm just a kind person, and you will find that. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm not
Yeah.
that's just my nature to
Honest.
be. So find your value and your core, what makes you you, and move forward with that. And that's as simple as it can get. If you enjoy doing people's hair, doing people's makeup, and look at people when they're at the grocery store and I really love your hair, how did you get it? Start with those are simple little things to start doing. The way you did your makeup is really nice. How do you do that? What do you use? So that gets that conversation going, but it also instills in you the values that you want and that you have. And for me with the coaching, I needed to believe that who I was important,
Mhm.
and then I needed to bring that out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that you said all of that. And yes, so part of it is building the confidence within to know
Mhm.
we are important and to feel comfortable in those new encounters, and realizing that those seemingly insignificant moments in life actually could be very defining.
Mhm.
And so I love that you explained all of that. chemical.
What you say on a daily basis, what you say to yourself or even outwardly, it
Yes.
reflects back into to you, right?
Yeah.
So and I don't do it for that reason. I do it because again, that's my core and that's my value and that's my belief. But it comes out because of that. Like it's that vicious circle. So I present or I value kindness because, and I use that word because that's mine. But and I spread that on, so to say somebody to you're in line and you're like, your hair is really pretty. You will not believe they're taken aback because
Yeah.
people don't have that sense anymore. And I'm not saying kindness has to be everybody's. You have your own internal value, but knowing that you have the confidence to bring it forward, because I had lost myself. I'm like, I didn't know who I wanted to be, and I still don't know who I want to be. I'm still investigating. I'm happy with where I am. There's still things I want to do, but I had lost everything, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, everything. And then going through the coaching, just the light bulb went on, and it's just spiraled from there. It's just everything has fallen into place or fallen out of place,
Yes.
whichever needs to happen in my life. If things fall off, then they fall off for a reason. But getting back, so that's what it helped me do. And you're right, the confidence and just saying, wait a minute, I matter. I'm
Yeah. Yes. You're a person. You matter.
right. I'm
Yeah.
a person matter. Yeah. My voice matters. So yeah.
Yeah. And I love how you, on it, you shared that, you were in a place of, I don't know who I am. I've lost basically everything. And here I am. Now what? A lot of
Mhm.
women are asking themselves, now what? Who am I now? They don't know. No. And it's a discovery process. And I think it's hard to do it alone. Don't you? I mean, we don't have to do things alone.
We don't. And all it takes is that conversation for people, because you'll be surprised how many other people say, oh yeah, I went through that, or oh, I'm going through that now, or oh, I did this and this helped, or there's always that. And then you'll find yourself saying, oh yeah, I can do that, or oh, I've done this. I mean, again, it's that circle, and where you just opening that conversation, planting that seed. But you're right. I mean, I had it nothing, and I just look around now and think, oh wow, look at me. Everything that I've ever prayed for and wanted for, I have. And it didn't happen overnight. It's taken a lot of tears. There were plenty of times I sat on the floor and cried and got it all out, and then just said, okay, you know what, I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to put my head up high, my chest out, and again, I'm important. I have that confidence, and I deserve it.
Yeah, so believing you deserve it is part of how it is allowed to come in to your
Yeah.
universe, right? Because if we don't think we deserve it or we don't think it's possible for us, then that's one of the ways we keep our wishes at bay.
Yeah.
And so part of what the work we do in coaching is to tap into, who are you really? What do you really want? And getting really
Hmm.
clear about that so people can start to shift their mindset and recognize that it is possible to even have it. So then
Hmm.
it can start to come in. But yeah, you've got to believe it can come in before it
you
will
you do have
show
to
up.
believe in. And I'll tell you, the coaching where it helped too was not even saying that, yeah, this is where I'm going. Like still didn't have any idea where I'm going, but it allowed me to say, take a big deep breath and say, again, I'm worth it. Let's move on. I have the confidence, and why not? No one cares. Why not
Yeah.
take care of me? So it was a real game changer. And again, it's taken me, and I still have notes. I still have notes.
You still have your
Still
Cindy
have
notebook,
questions. I have a book. It's
your Cindy
somewhere
folder.
on
People say to
the
me,
shelf.
I have my Cindy journal, my Cindy notebook, my Cindy
Yeah,
folder.
I do. I do. And I've expanded on it. Like I'll hear other questions and put more and more and more in it. But I have the book that is my core. It's kind of like your Jack Canfield.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uh, yep. And I have him and I use his book a lot too. But yeah, that I have that Cindy book where when because you have moments in your life when you second guess yourself, or you're like, is this really where I want to go? Is this, and then you have to, and you sit down and you reread and you rewrite and you journal again. Don't even, I don't take what I journaled then and say, okay, that's my truth, because that was 5 years ago. So my truth now is this, right?
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going to move forward with it. So it's ever changing, but the core is there, and has helped tremendously.
That's fabulous. And that, yes, please know this, people, that, as you're investing in yourself and attempting to grow and learn about yourself at this stage in your life and what you want, it is a constant practice. It is
Hmm.
not just, okay, I'll go hire a therapist or a coach or whoever to help me for 3 weeks, and then I will turn around 55 years of conflict with myself. No, no, no. It's not like that. Like, I still do the work, personal development work, every day of my life. And I've been teaching this stuff for 35 plus years, so I even am reminded of all of it professionally constantly, but I still have a daily practice where I am staying in gratitude and I am doing my affirmations and I'm doing my spiritual work and staying in touch with who I am and what's important to me, and creating new goals all the time, and just all of that, and making sure my mindset is in a healthy place and that I'm in touch with my intuition so I can make choices that are positive. And I'm not perfect. I get triggered too, or something from the past comes, flying up in my face, and I may be reactive to it. I may handle it well, or I may not. It just depends. But as you do the work every day of your life, those times get less and less. Those times where you're triggered highly, or that you hit a real big bump in the road or whatever, and because you have a set of tools that you can grab onto and cling to in the times that are not as easy, or if life throws you a curveball, that you weren't expecting, and you feel a little blindsided, it's like you still have that faith and confidence and tools to help you move through anything. So it's definitely worth the work. You are worth the work. And I'm
Yes,
so
you
glad
are
you
worth.
put that out, Melissa. I'm so glad you did. And you continue to do things, and you're helping other people heal as well and move forward in their lives, which is beautiful. Just
Yeah.
beautiful.
I told people when I'd gone through the course, my people that are close to me, my mom, my daughter, and I are really close, and a really dear friend of mine has been with me through a lot. But those three main core people, we talked about some of the things we were working on. And why I think that's important is my daughter, sometimes she'll say things that's similar to what she's experienced, her and I experienced together, and it triggers me. And she knows immediately by the look on my face what
Yeah.
wait a minute. So, and why I'm saying that is because allowing other people in to see your vulnerabilities, to be able to say, I'm here for you. And she immediately apologized, although I didn't want her to apologize, but we hugged, and that's all I wanted. That was okay. We moved on. But she knew right then and there what had happened.
Mhm.
And the fact that I was able to move on as quickly as I was just wonderful, because that to me is just like,
That's
oh yeah,
growth. That
I'm
is
so
growth.
grateful. I love this. But what I'm saying, having those people in your life, and even my friend will do that too. She can tell by certain things I say, or kind of where I'm going down the rabbit hole. Okay, what's going on? What's your trigger? What's happening in your life that's bringing you back? And letting them know how the healing started. Like what I was doing, and how I'm doing. They know how to handle it. And I think that's so important to let the people very close to you exactly know,
Mhm.
what you're doing, where you're at in life. It's a good check-in.
For
Hmm.
sure. I mean, yes, when you have a close circle around you, if you have people that you can trust intimately with your life and your vulnerabilities and so forth, and who will join you in your
Hmm.
growth process and be willing to be honest with you, that is like gold. gold, 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 because a lot of people will just go, oh, you're fine, or oh, blah,
Right.
blah, blah, or not even notice or look past everything. But when you have those friends or family members or colleagues or whomever in your life or people you hire to help you through life that will tell you the truth and
Hmm.
just be
Yep.
with you in the truth, whether it's pretty or it's ugly at the time, that is real. Like
Yep.
that's life changing right there. So really be choosy about this. I really recommend you be choosy about this and give people who love you a chance to be those people for you.
Yeah.
For what
Yeah.
you need as you're growing and evolving, and many blessings will come for sure.
Oh my gosh, your world will open up once you start to believe in yourself.
It does. It opens wide. It opens wide. Oh, well, I could talk to you all day, all night, all week, all month. But I bet we can't sustain the listeners that long, and I'd probably run out of recording space on Zoom too, in my Zoom account, to tell you the truth. Um,
Absolutely.
but this has been just so fabulous and valuable. Is there anything else you really wanted to say yourself before we wrap it up?
I just want to say, people, if women, if you have it in your mind that it's something you want to invest in with yourself and get yourself a life coach, do it. There's a reason why it's in your mind. It's a reason why it keeps popping up. And I want to tell you, my life changed with Cindy. And I feel blessed to have her in my life. And I'm so thankful. I talk about her all the time. People are like, okay, yeah, we know Cindy. So I use her, I use the things that she has taught me, not only for myself, but for other people. Like it's part of who I am. Because all we just need that connection. And I'm so grateful and so appreciative.
Oh, well, thank you so much for saying that. I did
Mhm.
not slip her a $1,000 bill to say
Yes.
that, I promise. But I'm so happy that, I was so honored to be your coach. I will forever be honored to know you and so thankful we've kept in touch all these years afterward.
Yeah.
And yes, if any of you are interested in just giving coaching a try, I do offer a free midlife strategy session. It's 30 minutes on Zoom, and you can go to timewithcindy.com to schedule that experience. And there's no pressure, there's no obligation, there's no nothing. It's a chance for us to connect and for me to get to know you and your pain points and to see if there are some ways that I think that I could be helpful to you. So, timewithcindy.com. And if you would like to connect with Melissa yourself, her business is called Reiki Plus, and you can email her at Reiki Plus 369 at gmail.com. And we will put that in the show notes. But Reiki, in case you're not familiar with the term, is spelled Reiki. So Reiki Plus 369 at gmail.com.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, Melissa, thank you for all the gems there.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate you sharing yourself and
It's
being
my pleasure.
today. It was just such a pleasure to talk to you.
You
And
too. Thank you for all you do.
oh, it's my, I am in my element when I'm doing this. I feel so blessed to do what I love to do.
And it's
It's
crossed.
really a blessing in life to love your work and live your work and enjoy it so much. So anyway, and thank you listeners for being with us today, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with those that you think would also benefit from what we're doing here. And I will talk to you again soon.